On today's episode of the Cryptoverse, the world's first ICO magazine launches. I reveal how to use a TenX card even though I have an iPhone, and takeaway.com now accepts Bitcoin payments and introduces cryptocurrency to almost 9 million people. All of that coming up on today's episode of the Cryptoverse, so stay right there. Hi there guys, and welcome to the latest episode of the Cryptoverse, your regular dose of news and commentary on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchains. I'm your host, Chris Coney. I'm also the founder of Cryptoversity, the online school where you can learn about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchains. Find out more at cryptoversity.com. So this is the news and commentary show. Excuse me. That's the problem with streaming it live, right? Anyway, let's begin with the announcement section. It's a Monday, so we're going to welcome all the new patrons over the last 7 days. We've got, let me run through them real quick. We've got Edward Fowler, we got Roland Catterford, we got John Casey, Bruce Everhart, we got Peter Galloway, we got Adam Corona, we've got someone called Orion3232K, and we have Ron, wait for it, Ron, Hamen. Sorry, I did practice this. It's Ham. N-ahum. Ron Hamenahum. Sounds kind of Jewish or something, but welcome Ron either way. So welcome, thank you all you guys. It does make a difference when at the end of the show I say please support the Cryptoverse, and some of you actually do. So thanks very much guys. It's all guys, right? I mean, I look at the demographics on my YouTube channel, it's 95% male. So what does that say? It says that because this stuff's more interesting to men than women. Just the way it is. Just the way it is. Anyway, the next thing I want to say is that the contest for July is open. If you want to win yourself a copy of The Secrets of the Bitcoin Triangle course, 21 fast-track ways to make and safe with Bitcoin starting from scratch, click the link in the video description, fill out 3 survey questions, and you will be in with a chance to win the prize draw at the end of the month. It's free to enter, and you can win a free copy of the Bitcoin Triangle course. Pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, that's it. All I've got for announcements. Let's get into the actual news stories themselves. Do you want to see the banner? There's the banner. I don't really like the banner. It just gets in the way, doesn't it? Let's get rid of it. All right. Topic number 1. How do you activate your TenX card without an Android phone? At the moment, the card that comes in the mail, which I have, requires you to activate it, and also to switch it to different currencies and deposit, you need to use the TenX app. Unfortunately, at the moment, you can only get it on Android. Problem, what if you have an iPhone, right? Julian said, well, you borrow someone's phone, but then it means the app is on their phone, right? Not good. Anyway, I've solved this problem by using an Android emulator. I did ask him, I said, Julian, can I use an emulator? He said, yes, that'll work just fine. So the emulator that I use is called BlueStacks, BlueStacks.com. You can get it from, so that this is it here. This is the website for BlueStacks, and then I've actually got it running, so this is the actual BlueStacks app. Oddly, it looks very similar to the website, but never mind that. There's an My Apps tab, and this looks exactly like, I don't know, an Android tablet turned on its side, right? So here's the TenX app. I can click on it, and it loads it up just like there's some ads in here, unless you pay for the BlueStacks software, but there we go. Oh, you can't actually see it, can you? This is not coming up on the screen share. Trust me, it is there. You put in a PIN number. Actually, let me move it off the screen just in case you can see it. Let's see if I put my PIN number in, see if it'll display it. And there. Does it work? Nope, you can't see it, can you? You can see the BlueStacks app, but it's not displaying the actual interface. But trust me, it's there. It looks like an actual Android phone on my screen. I did test that, but didn't realize it wasn't going to actually show the contents of the window. But in any case, just go to the BlueStacks.com website, download the app, install it, and you'll be able to activate your TenX card and then deposit Bitcoin, look at your transaction history and all that funky stuff. The downside, of course, is that you can't take it with you, right? So that is a downside. This is on my desktop computer. and I do all of the adding and so on. So I can't really check my balance or switch it into different modes on the go, but it's a temporary solution. In addition, when I first loaded it up, I was a little bit disappointed. No, I'm lying. I was very disappointed. I loaded it up and out of the box, it only supports Bitcoin. So when you click on Ethereum or Dash to load that onto the TenX card, it comes up with this message that says, well, to enable other assets, you've got to contact support. And I'm like, what is that? I mean, really, what is that? I know there's kind of a need to get something out there to market, but there is a cost, and the cost is disappointment to the user. And actually that emotional impact, that has consequences. So I would much prefer to let people wait, and then their first experience, their first impressions meet their expectations rather than get something out quickly and then disappoint them. That's just my view as a business person, as a marketeer, and someone with experience in these things. That would be my preference, even as the vendor and the user. So that's win-win. Alrighty then, that's all I've got to say about TenX. So all the sources for that are in the link in the video description. Story number 2, the world's first ICO magazine has launched. It's called ICO Crowd. And they've got a website and they've got an actual magazine. Here it is, ICOcrowd.com. Oh, you see the BlueStacks is in the way. There you go. ICOcrowd.com. It's a website all dedicated to ICOs, but not just a listing of ICOs. They've turned it into a blog and a magazine and all the rest of it. So that's kind of interesting. Now, more interesting than that, though, you might roll your eyes to begin with and say, oh my goodness, more ICO stuff. But ICOs are just the next evolution of crowdfunding, right? When crowdfunding came along, everyone went mental. And then when Indiegogo and Kickstarter came along, we all loved those, right? We were like, yeah, sticking it to the banks. Let's crowdfund stuff ourselves and foster innovation, and be part of the project, get perks and all that kind of thing. So why is it when we go to a decentralized Kickstarter model with ICOs, do we have a problem with it? I don't get that. The reason people get scammed from ICOs is because of lack of information. So we should welcome more media resources like this dedicated to the topic, don't you think? I certainly do. More information the better, right? So that's that. So ICO Crowd, by the way, if you are watching this episode of the Cryptoverse, you need to spend more money on your web hosting, right? Your website's too slow, all right? Just compare it to Cryptoversity, you'll see what I mean. So yeah, that's another bit of advice from me. Again, I've been in the online marketing game for 12 years, and the speed of that site, unacceptable, categorically unacceptable. So that's that. All right, that's all I've got to say about ICO Crowd. Again, links in the video description for that. Check it out for yourself. They do have an actual magazine you can flick through as well, which I believe you can download. Okay, but the main story that I wanted to talk about. Takeaway.com starts accepting Bitcoin for food orders and introduces it to millions of people. Now, I based this story on an article from bitcoinist.com, which has got the same title, right? So I've skimmed through this article. I haven't skimmed through it. I've read it several times and extracted the pertinent bits. And I've also looked at their sources and so on before looking at the actual takeaway.com site itself. So what I've got to say about this is, let's set the context here. Takeaway.com is one of those huge portal websites, right, that lists all the various restaurants and takeaways, and it's a European thing, right, just by the way. So worldwide, Takeaway.com and its sub-companies and sub-websites serves a total of 8.9 million customers. Wow, right? That's a decent size crowd right there. So that gives you an idea of how many people are about to become aware of the word Bitcoin for the first time. So, when you go to checkout, right, like Venmo or whatever, the first time you say it, like, what the hell is that, right? I mean, I would say don't underestimate the benefit of raising awareness to the masses in these simple ways. I think these are critical tools for raising awareness to the masses. Until they see it in the real world, I mean, when we look at ICOs and new projects, we start studying the white paper, right? When like Truthium is just a white paper, and we'll study the damn thing and be like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. And you try and talk to the average person about, oh, this Truthium thing is gonna be amazing. They're like, where is it though, right? Show me it. I want to be able to use it. That's why Andreas is always like, if you want to explain Bitcoin to people, just send them some to your phone and give them the experience of phone-to-phone currency. And that's how most people, the masses, who are not really like proper diehard fans of this stuff, need to see it. Anyway, so the point being is that when they get to a checkout for ordering their takeaway, if they then see this thing called Bitcoin and it's actually working, well, that's the point where they'll take it seriously. Now, the purpose of these sites, like there's Just Eat in England and there's, takeaway.com in Europe. The purpose of these sites is to centralize the menus of all these restaurants and centralize the ordering, right? So each individual restaurant and takeaway doesn't have to spend money, say, on building its own website and its own e-commerce ordering system and, credit card processing systems and all that kind of stuff. So takeaway.com handles all of that for them, and then it sends the order through to them with the money, obviously minus a fee. That's how takeaway.com makes money. And ordinarily, a takeaway, it's not going to get a great return on investment for building their own site. That was expensive, and they're only using small orders, so it's better if they just outsource it. Now, previously, if you wanted to pay for your order on takeaway.com with a PayPal or a credit card, say, they would charge you a 6% processing fee on top of the order. Ouch, that hurts, especially when you're talking like small amounts, right? If you pay with Bitcoin, however, the processing fee is 0, right? Takeaway.com do not charge you any extra for that. Well, I say it's 0 from the merchant side, so they don't charge you anything, but of course we still have to pay the 10-cent Bitcoin transaction fee, but that's neither here nor there in my opinion. So let's have a look at the actual takeaway.com site itself here. I've got it open. This is the one for the Netherlands. When you first go to the site, it says which country are you in, and it shows all of the various European countries. Now, the Netherlands is actually where the takeaway.com headquarters is based, as far as I can tell. And if we just scroll down ever so slightly here, I've used Google to translate this into English, by the way. Let's do a little zoom here. You see this here, where it says payment and late food delivery. It says pay with cash or ideal, don't know what the hell that is. Credit card, PayPal, Bitcoin, and it says bon appetit. And actually the translation, I think it's, Bitcoin is Bitcoin, whether it's English or in Dutch, I believe, yes. Dutch it would be, wouldn't it? So, if someone sees that word and they don't recognize it, what's the first thing they're going to do? In the modern day, they'll just Google it, right? They'll Google the word Bitcoin. And thus, we will welcome another worthy party, another worthy soul into the free world of economics and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. They only started out wanting a pizza, and instead they're going to discover their way to the world of economic freedom. How about that? I mean, that's perfectly ironic considering the first ever commercial Bitcoin transaction was to buy a pizza. So that's absolutely spectacular. So what's the moral of the story for today? Well, for you guys, instead of absorbing the mainstream news, spend time reading the cryptocurrency news, because there are lots of good news stories coming out on a daily basis, right? And that gives us hope, gives us optimism, while the mainstream news just fills us with fear, despair, and hopelessness. And if you let them take your mind, you become the prisoner in a cell you can't even see. So that's my moral for today. So thanks very much for joining me today, guys. If you like this episode, go ahead, hit that like button. If you disliked it, well, you can hit that button if you like. But please leave me a comment below with some feedback and get subscribed. And most importantly, please support the Cryptoverse and help me to boost cryptocurrency adoption by going to cryptoversity.com/podcast and becoming a patron. Alternatively, you can use the coin payments link in the video description if you want to send me a tip using a variety of different cryptocurrencies, or you can go to the courses section of the website to buy yourself an online course if you want to learn in a more structured way. You can spend anywhere from $10 for this documentary movie, right up to $59 if you want a blow-for-blow account of what's a blockchain, what's encryption, and how it all works together to form Bitcoin. And finally, if you want to earn yourself some money, click on the affiliate program link at the bottom of the page, and you'll get yourself a personalized referral link. If you give that to people and they click on it and buy something, you'll earn 25% commission paid to you in Bitcoin or Litecoin. That's the triple win. You'll help me, you'll help you, and you'll help someone else. So I do hope you'll join the affiliate program at the very least. But that's all I've got for you today. I'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Cryptoverse news show and another market roundup. So until then, it's me, Chris Coney, saying bye for now.